All right, everyone, we're coming off the rug pill video high, no pun intended, and I just wanted to do something a little bit more relaxed, something a little less scripted, and so we're returning to a series that I only did one episode of, This Week in Finds, and I'm gonna take a look at a few of the items that I've gotten over the past couple weeks, do a little profile on each of them with two goals. One, to inform you about the different types of rugs that I just don't have the time to do an entire unraveled episode on. And two, if you're interested in any of these, to give you a little bit more information to go on if you want to purchase. I should say, all of these items are for sale. If you are interested in any of them, please reach out to us at LimmyRocco on Instagram. So without further ado, let's get started. Our first rug is this Karabagh Prayer Rug. I did a reel on this rug, actually, and I kind of went over in that video what my concerns about the rug were, or I should say the concerns that other people might have when they look at this, but what I found appealing about it. When other people look at this rug, or maybe most, I would say like collector weirdo people like that want something pristine, they're gonna look at the wear on the rug, which is, in my opinion, even. There's a nice even wear to it. It gives it a nice aged look. Some people say handsome look. I kind of like that. I like that decorative term. It's a handsome rug. People will look at that. They'll also look at the synthetic dyes on this rug. Now, just a brief little lesson on Caucasian rugs and their dyes. 19th century Caucasian dyes are impeccable. They're so good. At the end of the 19th century, turn of the century, 1900, first quarter of the 20th century, a lot of these synthetic dyes were introduced. Around 1930, maybe a little earlier, I can't remember the exact timeline of the Soviet Empire coming into power, but around that time, you will start to see much muddier colors come into Caucasian rugs, and that's sort of the delineation point. They're darker, more somber in their tone, and these are referred to as Russian Caucasian rugs, or Russian Karabagh, Russian Kuba, Russian Kazakh. You know, the designation, the specific designation of the Caucasus with the Russian prefix. This is not that. This is a little bit earlier, but just if you're ever curious about the timeline of Caucasian rugs, it's usually circa 1900, first quarter of the 20th century. You're still getting some natural dye, some of the echoes of those natural dyes mixed in with synthetic dyes, and then right around 1920, 1930, you start to see these more dark Russian type Caucasian rugs. But like I said, this is the first quarter of the 20th century. It does have the synthetic dyes. It has a very clear synthetic orange, and some of the dyes have even become fugitive. Not a deal breaker necessarily. And then I think the most attractive thing, the eye-catching thing, the conversation starter, if this was in your home, is clearly seen in the motifs, because we have the very prominent two 5-digit, two hands plates, hand plates at the top of the rug. And you'll see this occasionally on prayer rugs. It's not rare per se, but it is sort of uncommon. And when it does come up, it's obviously very eye-catching. Kind of, whew, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that you could see hands on rugs, on prayer rugs or whatever. And then towards the bottom of the rug are these more like zoomorphic looking shapes. They kind of look like camels flanking both sides of the bottom of the prayer rug. Not a rare example by any means, but just an attractive prayer rug with a bit of character to it. All right, so this is an American hooked rug. I can sort of tell the age, and it's mostly vibes based. They can be sometimes kind of a little bit difficult to age, but to me, it's mostly about the tactile nature of the rug. You know, does it have more give to it? Is it softer? And with hooked rugs especially, and these sort of rag rugs, I guess I should say, if you don't know what hooked rugs are, they're rugs that are woven into burlap. Each of these squares on the back is actually hooked through. That's why they're called hooked rugs. They're made of old fabric, old clothes, and that's why they're also sometimes called rag rugs, because the people that would make them out of old clothes, old fabric. Really kind of a cool piece of folk art, very utilitarian. I really like these types of hooked rugs. Hooked rugs can get very pictorial. I sort of like this more abstract look that some of them get. Just a really unique, cool piece of American folk art, honestly. So, this is a Kurdish rug. Kurdish rugs are some of the most misattributed type of rugs. And when I say that, I mean people see a rug and they don't know what it is, and so they just end up calling it Kurdish. And Kurdish is another, could be another word for like, oh, that's kind of a weird rug. It must be Kurdish, because a lot of the designs seen on Kurdish rugs, while they're repeated in other Kurdish rugs, aren't really seen in the rest of the weaving world. Or if they are, the Kurds have done their own interpretation of those motifs. I just really liked this rug for a couple reasons. One, the even wear. This sort of falls into that Karabagh Prayer Rug that we were talking about earlier. There is wear to the rug. It is definitely worn, but it's just nice and even. It's an inoffensive wear. The second thing that really drew me to this rug was the main border. Now, I don't know exactly what this is called. I'm gonna call it the shrub border. And it's this repeating plant motif. I love that. I've seen that motif on the field of another Kurdish rug, but I've never seen it on the border of a rug. Kurdish rugs also just generally have great color to them, a lot of creativity in the weave, and they're a little bit more rudimentary and geometric than most other rugs. It's like, it presses all my buttons. It's all the stuff I love in rugs. This one is just a great example of that. Again, it's got that nice worn look, handsome Kurdish rug, if you want to say that. This is such a cool, just very unusual border, and I love that about this rug. Now, staying in the vein of Kurdish rugs, this is the very Kurdish Malayer Rug. I don't know what this motif is called. It's like a Kurdish type of medallion. Like when I see this medallion, this repeating medallion, and on this rug there are many of them, but whenever I see this, I just immediately think Kurdish. And obviously it's got a bunch of limirocos on it, which is also what attracted me to it. And interestingly, the little bird animals, the limirocos, trademark, are patterned. And what I mean by that is, usually when we see the little animals all over the rug, they're just kind of like spattered about. This one, they are meticulously repeated throughout the rug. So there's a pattern to the placement of the animals, which is pretty cool. Here's some honesty. This main border is called a saraband border, and you see it on all types of Oriental rugs, and I hate this border. It can actually make or break a rug for me sometimes when I see that border. And it's kind of too bad because it is like a very meticulous type of border, like a lot of work went into it, and I just don't like it. It's basically a meandering bota. In the trade, it's called a saraband. This one though, the dyes that they used on this main border are super cool. So it is a saraband border. You can see the back is this blue color, that's whatever, but then they've made the saraband this ruby and green. And I'll tell you what, this thing looks like a snaking dragon running all around the rug. Super cool. That green, like I said, is also in other areas of the rug. The spandrels specifically is what I'm thinking about, and then it's dotted across the medallions as well. There's this really great teal color that just pops across several of the medallions. And then interestingly, this rug has been painted as well, because you can see where some of the paint has been worn off of the areas that were painted. And when I say painted, I'm talking like painted ceruk painted, as in they went back in and re-dyed specific sections of the rug. Very weird. I've never seen that on anything that wasn't a ceruk. And so to see it on like this kind of formal Kurdish Malayer, pretty cool, pretty weird, interesting. This rug is in excellent shape. It has full pile across the entire rug. It's hefty, it's clean, there's no stains or anything like that. Just a lot of impressive stuff about this rug, a lot of unique stuff. But that is the, I guess, formal Kurdish Malayer. And finally, we come to the last very strange and not for sale rug, because this rug has actually already sold. The only reason I'm adding it to this video is for posterity's sake, because to be totally honest, I have no idea what this rug is, and I feel like I should document it because if I ever run across one again, I'll know what it is, and I can compare it to this video and these files. It has a main border that is this repeating yellow half circle shape. And then the main part of the rug is 3 panels. 2 of them are the same and they're framing the center, which is pictorial. So the 2 side panels are these 5 rows of repeating yet differently colored, although same palette-ish, scallops. And then in the center is this very colored depiction of a deer with sort of floral accoutrements around it. My guess is it's European, it is single wefted, and it's knotted, which is kind of unusual for many European pieces, to my understanding. I should say that I don't really know anything about European rugs. The look of the rug, the way that the especially pictorial section is drawn, it almost looks like it is imitating sort of the French needlepoint look. And even the subject matter, this sort of hunting game animal surrounded by florals, seems like Central European, maybe even English. And the feeling of the design is very Art Deco, like the scallops on either side of the picture, and the fact that it is a pictorial rug feels very Art Deco. This rug came to me very damaged. I tried to repair it as best I could. The new owner loves it. The pile on this thing is like super chunky. It feels like a Karabagh rug, but there is absolutely, I mean, there's no way that it's Caucasian. The weave is not Caucasian, but it's just my tactile memory is drawing from Karabagh when I feel this thing and look at the knots on it. But yeah, just a very weird, chunky, European something type rug. If you think you know what this is, please leave a comment, because that's like my best guess, is like kind of those couple things. Art Deco, Central European, maybe Spain. If you think you know what it is, leave a comment below. And that's it. So if you are interested in any of these rugs, please feel free to reach out to me at contact@limirocco.com or @limirocco on Instagram. My DMs are open. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.